Hello, and welcome to this next workout. This is going to be a core workout, a body weight core workout. A lot of the body weight workouts that I do come from a trainer in Seattle that I personally use named Kaisa, so I want to give her some credit here. All you need for this workout is a mat. And I don't have music on in the background because if I don't have the rights to it, sometimes YouTube will ban my videos. So if you want to put on some motivating music in the background to cover up my or your heavy breathing, I totally understand. We're going to start. This workout has 3 circuits. Each circuit is about 8 minutes long, and we'll have about a 5-minute mobility warm-up to go with it, so about a 30-minute workout. And we'll get started with our mobility work. So if you will just drop into a child's pose. I'm going to get my timer going. Sink your hips back toward your heels, your forehead to the mat, your arms out in front of you. And you are just going to flow between cobra and child's pose, just forward and back. On the cobra, you're going to open the shoulders, open the chest, lift the chin, slight back bend. Press the hips back toward the heels, forehead to the mat on the child's pose. Breathing in and out through the nose, just moving slow and controlled. We will stay on each of these moves for anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute. Just want to prep the body for the work that lies ahead. All right, now come to all fours, and we're going to thread the needle. Take the right arm, palm up, and slide it through. Bring your shoulder and your ear to the mat. Come back up. Left hand all the way through, same thing, and just go side to side. Stretching out the upper back, stretching out the shoulder. Now to all fours. Your right leg, we're going to do a big hip circle, draw a circle, tap that kneecap down, and then bring it back. So we circle, and then we reverse. Opening up that hip joint. Nice, switch sides, same thing on the left side, big circle, tap it down, and reverse. Breathing in and out through the nose, keeping all the moves slow and controlled. Nice. Now step your right foot forward and 3D hip flexor forward and back. Lift those arms overhead as you shift forward. Bring them down to the sides as you shift back. The idea with the 3D hip flexor is that you try to get as much movement from the hips as you possibly can. Now stay forward, arms out to the side, palms forward, and reach over. Now you're shifting the hips side to side without tipping yourself over. And now hands at the chest, and we rotate the hips side to side, kind of reaching out on the diagonal, rotating the hip in the opposite direction. When you first start these, you may not get a lot of movement out of your hips, but the more you do it, hopefully, the more flexible you will become. All right, now extend that right leg. Come forward with your hands on your thigh, your shin, or fingertips to the floor for a hamstring stretch. While we're holding this hamstring stretch for a minute, we are going to round up into a cat pose and then extend out to a cow pose. So we flex and then extend. If you have tight hamstrings or tight glutes, you may not feel like you're getting a lot of movement here. A lot of people who take my classes say they feel like they're only moving their head up and down, their back's not moving that much. Again, the more you do it, the more flexible you'll become. All right, now just step that left leg forward. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what all of this looks like from the side. Forward and back. Get those hips to shift around. Feel that stretch in the right side on the hip flexor. Stay forward, arms out to the side, palms forward, and reach over. Shift those hips now side to side. And now hands at the chest and rotate side to side. And now extend that left leg forward, hands to the thigh, shin or to the floor, extend out, and then round, flex the spine, and extend. Inhale on the extension, exhale on the flexion. We'll stay here another 30 seconds because we all know those hamstrings could really use a good stretching out. Try to get as much movement out of the spine as possible. If you need to come up higher on the shin or thigh in order to do that, you can. Now, sweep that leg around, hands out in front of the shoulders, toes tucked, come up into a down dog, sink those heels, chest toward the thighs, hip high, and we're going to walk the dog. Just bend one knee, sink the opposite heel, and then the other side. Just go back and forth, walking the dog. Keep walking the dog. Now, sink into the down dog. Step the right foot forward beside the right hand and lift that right arm up to the ceiling for rotation. Bring it back. Slide that foot back, sink those heels, and then do it to the other side. Hip opener with torso rotation. Sink into that down dog every time. And now just drop to the knees. We are going to come on to our side with the knees stacked. The top arm into sunshine arms. It's going to draw sunshine all around your body. And then bring it back. Shoulder and a chest opener here. The first couple of times can be kind of rough, especially if you have tight shoulders. Those hands will flip, the hand will flip right as you get over the head. You keep your fingertips dragging at all times. This is a really good one for full range of motion in that shoulder. Now just flip to the other side. Same thing. Top arm, drawing that sunshine around your body. All right, now come up. Feet right in front of you, about hips distance apart. Get your hands behind you, fingertips pointing forward, and you're just going to drop the knees side to side. It's our last one for the warm-up. Thirty more seconds. Loosening up the outside of the hips. All right, and back to center. Good job. All right, going to reset my timer, and then I'll go through the exercises in the first circuit. So remember, I said 3 circuits, about 8 minutes on each one, 30 seconds on, 10 seconds in between 3 rounds of each exercise. The first circuit, we are going to start with a down dog, just like we did in the warm-up. We're going to come to down dog, sinking the heels. Then you're going to float to a plank with your shoulders right over your wrist. And then you're going to bring the right knee to the right elbow, and then right knee to the left elbow, back to the right, and back to down dog. And then you'll repeat that on the left. Plank, left, right, left, and back. Now, if that gets too challenging, you can always just do down dog to plank, or you can just bring the held plank and do elbows to knees if you want. Next one, hollow hold to a V-sit with a knee pull. So you've got your feet up, you got your arms overhead, you're going to lift your head and shoulders, there's your hollow hold. Hollow hold to a V-sit and pull one knee and hold. Extend back out and other side. And you just go back and forth. Now that one is challenging, so if you can't come all the way up to the V-sit, just do a hollow hold, so we'd extend out and then just pull one knee to the chest, head and shoulders up as high as you possibly can. Extend back out and other side. So just leave out the V-sit on that one if you need to. The next exercise is a bridge with a single leg drop. Walk those heels back, lift your hips up high, get your forearms on the floor to help balance. Extend your right leg straight up in the air, foot flexed, keeping your hips up as high as you can. Lower that leg down, tap the heel, and bring it back up again. 30 seconds on the right side. Fourth exercise will be 30 seconds on the left. And that'll be circuit number 1. So let's get started. We've got a 15-second countdown. Down dog. Down dog, plank, right, left, right, and back again. Other side, plank, left, right, left, and back. Keep going. Don't forget that down dog at the end of the move. Try to touch your knee to the elbow, to each elbow if you can. And rest. Okay, V-sit, hollow hold, V-sit to alternating leg pull. Up and back out. Remember, if you find this one too challenging, and it is challenging, just take the V-sit out. Just do the hollow hold with the leg pull. It's hard to balance. Nice. Bridge. Walk those heels back. Lift the hips high. Extend the right leg. Foot flex. Lower. And lift. If your hips start to sag, lift them back up again. Try to keep them as high as you can. This is really good for the lower abdominals. Nice. Rest. Switch sides. Lift the hips high. Extend the left leg. Up, foot flex, lower, and lift. Slow and controlled. Breathing in and out through the nose, or in through the nose and out through the mouth. All right, that's round 1. Round 2, back to the down dog. Elbow to knee. Right, left, right, push it back. left, right, left, back. It's okay if your elbow doesn't come to your knee, but that is what you are trying to do. Hollow hold, V-sit, alternating leg pull, lift, and extend. Gotta find a rhythm with this one for sure. Good. Bridge pose, right side, single leg drop, hips high, right leg extended, lower, and lift. Try to lift the leg up just as slowly as it went down. A lot of times people will drop slowly, but then real quickly they bring it back up into the air. Switch sides, lift those hips, left leg extended, lower and lift. Slow and controlled. Barely tap that heel down and bring it back. Nice. Okay, 2 rounds down, 1 to go for this circuit. Back into that down dog, and right, left, right, down dog. Left, right, left, down dog. Keep it going. Oh, I hope you put some music on in the background because it's really needed. It's so quiet in here. No TVs, no music, just me and my breath. V-sit to leg pull. Sometimes when I go too far, that opposite heel comes down on the floor. Try to keep it up. Nice. Bridge. Single leg drop. Lift those hips high. Keep them there. Lower and lift. Release back down. Other side. Lift high. Extend. Flex. Lower and lift. The This is the end of the third round. End of circuit 1. Hips down. Good job. All right. So we'll move on to circuit 2. If you're short on time, remember each of these circuits, there's going to be 3. We've got 1 down, 2 to go. Each of these circuits is about 8 minutes a piece. So you could always just break that up into 3 different 8 to 10 minute workouts if you're a little short on time. I'm going to move on now to circuit number 2. This one, you're going to start in an all fours position with your wrist right underneath your shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Now, you're going to not have a rounded kind of cow stretch back. You're not going to have an arched cow stretch back either. You're going to be right there in between hips and shoulders level with one another for a neutral spine. Core engaged, and this one on the right side, you're going to bring the knee in, out, and to the side, and then bring it back. In, out, side. Trying to keep that leg level with the hips when you kick out to the side. We'll do that then on the left side, and that will be that's the first 2 exercises of this circuit. The second one, the third one, is a forearm plank with a hip drop. So set your elbows right underneath your shoulders. You can be on your knees and drop the hips to each side, kind of the modified version. Or you can come up to the toes, take the feet wide, and drop the hips side to side. And then the fourth exercise is a Superman. Arms extended, legs extended. You're going to lift up into a hyperextension. Pull those elbows to a W, call this a W, into your sides. Extend back out and lower back down. So it's a 4 count. Up, pull, extend, and down. And that's the 4 exercises for circuit number 2. Get our 15-second countdown going. Start in that all fours position with a neutral spine, wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips.
3, 2, 1.
Right side. In, out, and side. In, out, side. Now you'll know why we did all the hip openers we did in that warm-up. In. All right, rest. Other side. Torso. Core stable and engaged. Belly button to the spine. Shoulders back and down. In, out, side. In, out, side. Keep that foot flexed. Toes pointing down towards the floor the whole time. Helps to keep all the lower body muscles engaged. All right, forearm plank with a hip drop. Elbows under the shoulders, shoulders back and down, feet wide. Remember, if you need to, you can do this from your knees. Try to keep your head long. Maybe just look right down at your fist instead of dropping your head like I was doing. Nice. Onto your stomach. Arms extended. Superman to a W. Lift, pull, extend, and lower. lift, pull, extend, and lower. Hyperextension, a strengthener for the lower back. Yes, the lower back is part of the core. And that was round number 1. Back to all fours. In, out, side. Now, while you're working the right side, try not to shift too far forward, not forward, too far sideways over to the left side. You want to try to stay stable in the center, which is really hard to do. I'm trying to correct that now, especially when you do the kick to the side. Rest, switch to the other side, engage, shoulders back and down, belly button to the spine, foot flex, and in, out, side. Try not to shift to the right while you do this. That makes it way more challenging. Nice. Okay, forearm plank. On the knees or on the toes. Hips, hip drop, side to side. Keep that head nice and long. Look at those hands to keep from dropping that head. Working the obliques. I think that's probably obvious. Don't need to say that. Nice. On your stomach. Arms extended. Forehead to the floor. Superman to a W. Lift, pull, extend, and lower. Lift, pull, extend, and lower. Okay, 2 rounds down, 1 to go. Back to all fours. Forward, back, side. Foot flexed. Torso stable, not leaning too far to the left. 3rd round is where we master it, where we put it all together. Rest, left side. Flex that foot. Shrug the shoulder blades down your back. Belly button to the spine. In, out, side. In, out. Now, if you need to shorten that range of motion in that side movement in order not to shift too far to the other side, go ahead. Work on the form. Work on mastering the form. Doesn't do you any good if they're sloppy. And rest. Forearm plank, elbows underneath the shoulders, shoulder blades down and back to your knees or to your toes, and hip drop. Head long. Look right down at those fists. We always want to drop our head in the plank, don't we? We want to look back and see what our feet are doing. We don't need to see those feet. We know what they're doing. Nice. To the floor. Arms extended. Forehead to the floor. Superman to W. Lift. Pull. Extend. Lower. Last one this round. Lift, pull, extend, lower. And rest. Good job. Circuit number 2. Down. We've only got one more to go. This third one, in my opinion, is definitely the most challenging. I'll give you all the modifications. Do your best. So, the first is a bear hold with a knee tap. So you're going to tuck your toes. Again, wrist right underneath the shoulders. Shrug those shoulder blades down your back. We never want our shoulders crunching up towards our ears. Slide those shoulder blades down your back. Belly button towards the spine. We're going to lift the knees and let them hover just an inch or two off the mat. And then you're going to take your right hand, tap your left knee, left hand, tap your right knee, and you'll just stay up and tap alternate tapping those knees the whole 30 seconds. You try not to shift your weight side to side a lot. You try to keep that torso as stable as you possibly can. If you find the knee taps challenging, the way to modify is just to work on that bear hold. Come up, knees hover, hold as long as you can, drop them back down if you need to rest, pop back up when you can. Now here's what everyone always wants to do in a bear hold. They want to lift their hips up high. Of course, that makes it easier. We're going to keep them hovering, and I'll keep reminding you, about an inch or two off the floor at most. Second exercise is a hip lift march. So you're going to bend your knees with your heels just anchoring into the floor. Lift your hips, and you're going to keep your hips lifted the whole entire time. And you're just going to alternate bringing those knees back toward the chest in a marching motion. Now, the closer your heels are to you, the higher you can get your hips, but the easier the exercise will be. The further you extend your legs out, the harder it is to keep your hips lifted, and the harder it is to pull those knees into the chest. So modify by adjusting those heels. And then the last two, side planks. Left forearm, left leg bent, right leg extended on top. You're going to lift up. You can have your hand on the mat for a little balance or onto your hip. Keep that shoulder back, and we're going to pull the knee in and then tap forward. In and tap forward. Now that's level number 1 right there. If you want to make it more challenging, you can scissor your legs, either with the top leg to the front or the top leg behind. Scissored. I think for this one, you would have the top leg behind, and you will pull the knee and then tap forward. And then the most challenging will be leg stacked, plank, knee in, tap forward. Okay. So I usually stay on level 1 with this one because it helps me control the knee in, tap forward. I can do a side plank, so I know I can do a stacked leg side plank, no problem. It's the pulling the knee in and tapping forward that I'm trying to work on, so I go ahead and choose to stay at that lower level so that I can control while I'm doing that. But you pick whatever level you like and you feel like it challenges you the most. course, the fourth one for this circuit is that same thing on the left side. Okay, so we'll get started. Bear hold with the knee tap is first. We have our 15-second countdown. We're only about 10 minutes from the end of this workout. Toes flexed, shoulders back and down, belly button to the
3,
spine.
2, 1.
Hover those knees and tap. Try to keep that torso stable. Try not to rock to side to side to side, or rock as little as possible side to side. Remember, if it's the taps that get you, just try the bear hold, hover, and then progress to the knee taps when you feel like you can. Remember, you get 3 shots at it, and down. All right, hip lift marches. Legs extended, heels anchored, hips high the whole time, and march those knees in toward the chest. One at a time, alternating sides. Keeping the hips up. A lot of work for lower abdominals in this core workout. Lower abdominals are very challenging to work, very challenging to isolate. Hips down. All right, good job. Back to the bear hold with a knee tap. Round number 2. When I get tired, I can really tell that I start to shift side to side a lot more. Hip lift, marches. Heels anchored, knee to the chest. Keep those hips up. Every time I say that, I'm really just reminding myself, I know you have your hips up, right? Good. Side plank. Knee in, tap forward. I skipped these the first time, didn't I? It's just coming to me. In, out, tap, and back. In, out, tap, bring it back. Okay, other side. Same thing. Up and in, tap forward. Knee in, tap forward. Bear hold. Shoulders back and down, hover and tap. Don't get those knees too high off the ground.
All right, come to the right side, the left, yeah, the right side. Let's fill in one of those side planks that I missed. In and tap forward. In, out, tap, and back. In, out, tap, back. On to the back. Hip lift marches. Hips down. Left side. Side plank. In, out, tap it forward. In, out, tap it forward. Keep it going. In, out, tap. Switch to the other side. We're going to do the last two side planks. Sorry, I messed up the order on this. See guys, when I don't have you here, those who take my classes know every now and again, I try to skip some exercises. They have to remind me the order. See what happens when you're not here to remind me? We'll get them all in, just not in the right order. Almost done. 5 seconds on this side, and then the last 30 seconds on the other side. Switch, flip over. So the last one. If I hadn't filmed this workout numerous times and had it mess up due to bad internet connection, I would probably do it over again. But not gonna. Almost to the end. We'll just do them out of order. It will be okay. Almost done. And release. Come to a seated position. Cross legs. Easy pose with one leg in front of the other. If your hips are tight, as mine seem to be right now, sit up nice and tall. Chin forward. You can even put your legs out in front of you if your hips are tightening up too much. Chin forward and just let that head sway side to side. Bring that back, that breath back to in and out through the nose. Now, take your left hand, walk it out. Reach that right arm up and over. If you can cross your legs, maybe your hips calm down a little bit, mine did. Reach that right arm up and over. Walk that hand out. Nice long side stretch. Bring it back up. Take that right hand to the outside of your left knee. Take your left hand behind you, thumb right behind the tailbone. Lift the spine, sit up as tall as possible, and little spinal twist. spinal twist will just wring the toxins out of the core after a good core exercise like we just did. Back to center. Arms out to the side. Walk that right arm out, fingertips up, or press into that palm, and then just lift that left arm up and over. Find your breath. And bring it back down. Take that left hand to your right knee, right hand, thumb behind the tailbone, lift up tall and twist. Bring it back to center. Roll those shoulders up, down, and back. And thanks for joining me. It was a great core workout. See you soon. Bye.